My name is Iruka Okeke. I'm a professor at the University of Ibadan in Nigeria. I'm a bacteriologist. That means I study bacteria. Bacteria are germs that cause a range of diseases. I'm particularly interested in diarrhea that occurs in very young children, which can be potentially fatal, and in bloodstream infections. So we study the bacteria to find out how they make people sick. We also study the bacteria to find out how they become resistant to antibiotics. Childhood diarrhea actually has been a problem for decades, centuries. The good news is that in the last few decades, the prevalence of the incidence of diarrhea deaths have actually gone down. And so that's a really positive thing. So we're interested in how bacteria make children sick, but we're also interested in coming up with solutions so that diarrhea bouts will be less devastating on the children that are sick. And so the Grand Challenge project that we have is actually focused on drug discovery. And the idea is that we can use the knowledge that we're getting out of surveillance and understanding how bacteria make people sick to start to discover solutions that could be used to treat children who have these infections. So what the Grand Challenges Africa program has allowed us to do is to start a drug discovery arm of our research, which is actually very interesting and very exciting. But on the other hand, it's really important for us to start to develop our own drugs. And drug discovery, it's not just the doing to discover a particular drug that's important. The process and being sure that people who are engaged in science actually are gaining the skills that allows them to develop drugs is actually really important. Well, I think it's really important to bring all good minds to address all important problems. And unfortunately, on the African continent, this is least likely to happen. We have a lot of smart people, we have a lot of problems, but making that connection is difficult because solving problems is actually quite expensive. Many of our countries are not contributing enough to research. And so it's really important, first of all, to be able to get the resources to the people who could address those problems. Secondly, when you have an organization that is actually built around developing research, it creates research communities. And so, for example, I know the other people in Africa who are working on drug discovery. I can work with them, I can learn from them, I can talk to them, and that community was essentially built out of the Grand Challenges program. Each generation discovers more than the generation before it. So if you're just getting into science now and you're really impressed with what has gone on before, once you're committed, you can be sure that you're going to make even more important discoveries. I think it's important to have that at the back of your mind because sometimes the day-to-day work can be very tedious. But scientists should be aware of the fact that today we have tools that we didn't have a decade ago. And so there's a greater opportunity for discovery.